going on, everyone? My name is Clay, if you don't know me already, and today's a little bit different. So we're not doing a vlog, it's actually a tech review. So we're going to be checking out the iPhone X, going over pros and cons and, you know, all that sweet jazz. It's something I actually want to do a little bit more of. I've got plenty of things that I would love to review. If, you know, any of you are interested in that piece of tech or product, you know, I can give you the rundown on what I think of it, my honest opinion, but I never really got around to it because I wanted a spot where I could shoot and you know, get a nice white background and all that, and I finally have it, so let's hop right into it. So I ended up picking this up the day it came out on November 3rd. I ended up pre-ordering it 2 weeks before it came out. I was trying to get the 256 gig model, but that sold out within seconds, so I wound up with the 64 gig. Definitely no slouch. It's got plenty of space. I think I've barely filled it up halfway. This was actually my first pre-order from just about anything, and I knew that it was going to be different. I mean, no other iPhone had looked like it so far, and it reminded me the most of the iPhone 3GS kind of with the iPhone 4, which hands down, definitely some of my favorite phones from the past. I just remember how good the iPhone 3 felt in the hand. Same with the 4, but it was just something about the 3 was just how sleek and polished off it was. It definitely picked up some crazy scratches, but it was an amazing phone. So the way that I want to do these reviews is kind of go through chronologically how you would use the device. So right off the bat, if we're going in that order, is Face ID. And for me, it works great. I know there's some people who say it works fantastic for them, others who say it doesn't work for them, and in reality, it works really, really well for me. The only time where I know it never works is when I have my sunglasses on and I just know to take them off. But just because Face ID works almost all of the time for me doesn't mean that it's perfect. So what I mean by that is Face ID is good, but Touch ID is still better. And I mean, it's not a huge difference. You kind of get used to it, and it's not that bad really, but it's way faster on the 7, the 8s with Touch ID. Where this really starts to become annoying is, for example, if I put the phone on my desk and I want to unlock it, whether it's on the Qi charger or it's just sitting there, I have to put my face over the phone, which kind of sucks. One thing that I do really like about Face ID though is that you can unlock your phone, have it just scan your face, and not swipe up to go to the home screen. Any notifications that you have on there, so any messages, anything from Twitter, you name it, becomes visible. So you'll see that it says, you know, notification from Twitter, or you got a message from John or whatever, but you can't see the message until it scans your face, which is pretty sweet, because if for whatever reason someone was trying to get into your phone, or they saw that you got a text message or whatever, then they can't see it unless you scan it or put in your code. Something that I really like about not having a home button on the phone is how screen protectors work now. So previously, any phone that you had, if you had a screen protector on the phone, it would kind of give it that extra bit of, I don't know, space. And when you had to press on the home button, you definitely felt the screen protector. And I don't know, I guess it's really not a big deal, but for me, whenever I had the screen protector on my iPhone 7 Plus, my iPhone 5C, my, you know, you name it, and I would press and I would feel that there was that extra little bit of a layer there, and it really bothered me, and I always ended up taking off the screen protector. With this, you kind of forget that there's a screen protector on here. I mean, you can see on here, I have a screen protector on here, and you can't even tell that there's a screen protector on here. And that's something I really, really like.
Do you have a cleanie?
A cleanie? Do I have a cleanie?
Screen clean.
A screen clean? Yeah, a microfiber cloth. One right there. There's one right there too. There's one right there. There's one right there. So I won't go too crazy in depth of a review, since I'm sure that you've already seen plenty of other reviews that have, you know, the main rundown, but I've got a few pros and cons that I don't really see elsewhere that I really want to toss out here towards you. So one thing that absolutely drives me nuts about this phone is just the way that it's placed in your hands. You will have countless and billions and billions and billions screenshots, and I mean lots. There are some people on Twitter that I've seen, they'll have somewhere in the range of 2,000 to 3,000 screenshots, well, accidental screenshots. It's not that big of a deal. It's something that you kind of get used to, but the way that you hold it, Your finger lands right on top of the volume up rocker, and your thumb is on the sleep wake button. And press both of them at the same time. That's how you take a screenshot. Can't tell you how many times taking it in and out of my pocket I take a screenshot. Here's another thing that I've never seen anyone else talk about, and this one kind of makes me the most crazy. This one drives me the most crazy. This one bothers me the most, and that is the time that it takes for it to sleep after hitting the button. Watch this. Okay, right, let's do it again. Ready? And 1, 2, and 3. All right, once more so you kind of get the, ready? I'm gonna click it, you'll hear it click. Ready, and that's like half a second. No other iPhone takes that long. I don't know whether that has something to do with the fact that this is an OLED screen or whether it's a software thing. I have no clue. I don't know, I really can't explain it. I don't know why it happens. I have no explanation for it, but just know that it takes that extra second to turn off. Don't know why, but there's lots of times where I'll take my phone out of my pocket and it's unlocked, and I thought I turned it off, but it takes long to turn off. So depending on who you are, there's a few things that you might consider a pro and some things that you might consider a con. So for example, the all screen, well, mostly screen ratio, you might consider that a plus. You might really like the fact that there's a huge screen, but you might not like that it's gonna scratch, and that there's a higher chance of it scratching on the screen because there's more screen. Another example of this is Face ID. I mean, for some people they say it works great, for others it doesn't. It seems to work just fine for me. Another thing that might be a pro or a con for you is that camera. It has a really big camera bump.
But on this, they chose to make it this big, fat, like you could like shave with this thing.
Which might be a really bad thing for you, but for others you might say that's a good sacrifice for the really great camera quality it has. Second to the Google Pixel 2, but again, it's just preference. Something for you photographers out there is that it can actually take raw photos. You would need to get a third-party app that supports it, but then after that you can export them, well, upload them onto the Lightroom app, and you can edit them there, and it's pretty great. I mean, it obviously is not going to be the same as an actual camera like my Lumix or the 6D, but it's pretty good. I mean, it's something that I know a lot of people really enjoy. It's a little bit tedious, but if you're up for the challenge, it definitely works. On the video side of the iPhone, it can take 4K at 60 frames per second, which is, I mean, my Lumix can't even do that. And besides that, which I actually use even more, is the 1080 at 240 FPS, which is just butter. If you do want to go more than that, there are other phones that shoot even higher than that. I believe the S9 can do 960 frames per second, but I think it's 720. Could be wrong, but it definitely does shoot a higher FPS than the iPhone can. So something I haven't really talked about that much yet as to what I think about it is the notch. So yeah, the notch. So for the most part, the notch doesn't bother me that much. It bothers me, but I definitely never forgot about it. I've heard some people say, you know, oh, you forget about it with time and it just kind of disappears. It never really disappeared for me. The one time where I just can't stand the notch is, yeah, you're looking at it. You're trying to watch this video in full screen mode and you've just got this. It doesn't go away, and it looks bad. It looks really bad. I'd say this is worse than someone trying to put a widescreen video on IGTV. It's pretty bad. Okay, so something that I haven't talked about yet is the price tag, and it's definitely not a friendly one. On November 3rd, 2017, the order total for my iPhone 10 came out to $1,081.42. Woo! All right, so the infamous question, is the iPhone 10 worth it or not? And I mean, come on, there's no yes or no answer to that. It just depends on you. So in reality, I'm sure if you've made it this far to the video, you can kind of decide for yourself whether it's worth it for you or not. And I think MKBHD put it best, and what he said is that if they know what they're getting to, or if you know what you're getting into, and you're fine with it, then yeah, and you want the latest and greatest from Apple, you don't really care what the price is, you just want it, I mean, then yeah, is it worth it for you? Then yeah, totally. You can do what you want. And if you're not feeling that way, then maybe the phone isn't for you and it's not worth it. Some people are gonna say, why would I want to pay $1,000 for a phone when there are phones that are just as good, if not better, from other companies when it's significantly less than the price that Apple is offering? That was a mouthful. But in reality, it does come down to you. For me, I've just always been an Apple user ever since, gosh, I don't know. I started with an iPod Touch, and then my first phone was the iPhone 3GS, went to the iPhone 4, iPhone 5C, then to the iPhone 6, then the iPhone 6S? No, I skipped that one. Then I went to the iPhone 7 Plus, and now we're here at the iPhone X. And I haven't really gone anywhere else from iPhones. But that doesn't mean that I have any hate for other phones. I think the Note 8 is a beautiful phone. If I couldn't have the iPhone X, I would definitely be rocking the Note 8 right now. I hope to do a lot more videos like this in the future. I've got plenty of other things that I would love to put out here so that you guys can see whether you like it, whether it's for you, whether it's not, which is what these tech reviews are pretty much doing. It's not, you know, saying, yeah, this piece of device or this piece of device, really. It's not saying this tech or this item is the best, it's, you know, better than all the others, and you know, you have to go out and get it. No, this is me giving my opinion on the device as to whether it works for you or whether it doesn't, and it doesn't have to work for you every single time. Alrighty, that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't, the other button will work too. Drop a comment down below if you want to see it in the next video, because I am starting something that my buddy Jake started doing, and that is reading the last comments from the previous video. Reading the last, you get what I'm saying. So, my last video was my jumping out of a plane skydiving video. That was a ton of fun. First comment is from Jake. That intro/outro though, and yeah, that took me a little while. I'm starting to experiment with After Effects. I have swapped from Final Cut onto Premiere almost entirely. This is edited on Premiere actually. I really enjoyed working on that intro and outro. Let me know what you think about it. And then underneath that we got Lincoln, Link's 10 Life, would I do it again? Oh yeah, definitely. Hit me up, dude. By the time you're seeing this, I'm probably already home in LA. I've got a few things planned out while I'm down there. Hopefully hit 1 or 2 travel locations. Not too sure yet, but I hope that we work it out. Again, that's it from me today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.